I'm here with my lifetime friend, brother, mentor, Bobby Ducharme. And Bobby's got a really crazy story and crazy life. He's been a mentor to not just me, but many others growing up. And I just want to kind of pick his brain and just talk to him and see what's going on. So,
glad to be here, Julian. Stoked.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. I've been through a lot, but I'm still here. Got a company called Can't Keep Me Down, and I call it that because I fell down on the wave and I didn't die, and I believe God gave me a second chance at life by saving my life through those lifeguards that rescued me out of the water when I broke my neck in San Diego, Coronado. And my whole family grew up surfing. My mom, my dad, my brother, all of us surfed. We hung at the beach. Lived in PB for a while, OB, Mission Beach, Claremont, all over the place. Now I'm in Mira Mesa, and surfing was my life. But before that, it was skateboarding. And then once I got into surfing, it was so much fun. That's all I wanted to do was surf.
Do you remember the first wave that you caught surfing and what it felt like?
I don't remember the first wave, but I remember we me and my brother hung out at Winnesea Beach and surf. It was our friend Bird's surf shop, and Bird had these boards in there. They were like boogie boards, but they were surfboards, like long, like what Jamie O'Brien rides.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned on one of those at Tourmaline, catching little waves. And then I remember trying on those things, and it was fun. But just a lot of going to the beach every day with my friends and family and hanging out, and that's what led to surfing all the time. It's an addiction. Once you get it in your blood, you can't get it out. Even now, me being paralyzed all these years later, I make surf videos with this half an arm with a wrist brace that I put a pencil in, and I put the table next to me with a wireless keyboard. I poke down the keyboard and it controls the mouse, and that's how I do video editing. So I learned how to do video editing after I broke my neck, and that keeps most of my time occupied. So I've had so many friends that have been giving me footage over the years, top guys and best surfers in the world. I met so many pro surfers and my heroes growing up. So now that's what I do with my time now is make surf videos.
And how old were you when you had your accident?
Yeah, I was 22 years old. I was almost 23, and what happened was I was surfing Sunset Cliffs in the morning that day, and it was high tide, south swell, and I was surfing a spot called Needles, and it was really fun. No one was really out. Then I went in to eat some lunch, and the wind switched to north, and I knew north winds and south swell you go to Coronado. Sorry to tell everybody, but that's where you go when it gets good. And I went there, and it was perfect. It was so good. As I was going over the bridge, I could see the spray coming off the waves, and when I got to the beach, it was going off. There was no one out at all, and it was like pipeline all to myself. And I got there and got my wetsuit on in about 2 seconds, waxed my board up in about 1 second. Got out there and caught so many waves, and I think I caught so many waves in such a short period of time that the last wave I rode, I was in the tube and I got real relaxed and kind of tired, and the lip hit me on top of the head and pushed me straight backwards, and then I hit my neck on the sand and then broke my neck. And I swallowed a bunch of water, and then I passed out and I wasn't breathing. But the lifeguards that were there, our friend Jay Sheckman's a lifeguard. He was friends with me and our family, and he didn't see the accident, but he saw my board washed up on the beach. I didn't have a leash. Actually, I stole my friend Chris Loomis' surfboard that day. I had a broken nose on it with duct tape. That's actually the board I was riding when I broke my neck. And I took his board, and that's the board I was riding. So Jay and the lifeguard, Cornell lifeguard, saw my board washed up on the beach. They drove over, and the lifeguard truck and saw me, pull me out of the water. This big guy, Mike Duff, is one of the best guys for pulling people out of the water. He pulled me out of the water and got me out of the water, and they handled me in a way so my neck wouldn't get more damaged. And they resuscitated me on the beach. I wasn't breathing. They got me breathing again, and then they took me right to the lifeguard truck. I was in a lot of pain, and so then I went through lots of hell in the hospital for months. I was in there all summer, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
For 3 months, I think.
Yeah, a long time. I mean, I remember the day that it happened, and it was really, really hard to, see somebody that means so much to me, go through something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember anything, but I was actually like holding your hand and you like started to come out of your coma. And I was probably like 13 or 14. And I remember like it freaking me out, you know, but everyone was like, no, this is good, you know. But yeah, it was
well, you know, God, friends, and family got me through it all. That's how I am today still. And if you don't have something in your life like that, support, or if you don't have a passion that really helps you to get through the days, then it's hard. So luckily I have family, friends, surfing, relationship with the Lord Jesus, and I'm still here, you know. And I'm not perfect, but I'm happy that I can still be happy making surf movies and doing stuff online and for Instagram and YouTube. And so if I didn't have that, I don't know where I'd be.
Was there times where you didn't feel like you had that, and where it was?
Yeah, when I first broke my neck, I was really depressed. Like, I'm like, what the heck do I do now? I used to surf and skate, now I can't do nothing. I gotta sit here all day, and I was like real depressed. So I drank a lot of beer. I drank myself a lot, you know, got real drunk and would just sit there all bored and anyway. So after a while, I got so negative and lots of stuff going on in my head where I had to go back up and catch some air. And so I got up, and here I am now. It's been 26 years since my accident. That's a long time for some of you, but it's a long time for me too. But, my mom, my dad, my brother, my family's been there for us the whole time, and we get through it. And friends coming over, like Julian coming over here, and people coming over and visiting me, and friends giving me footage like to edit, you know, like that really helps me stay positive and stay motivated. Because you gotta stay positive and you gotta stay motivated. Wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, I think if you stay motivated and positive, you'll get through it.
Yeah, it can be hard to. Sometimes you gotta go all the way to the bottom to realize that that's the only way to be. I mean, I know I'm not in the same exact situations, but I've had a lot of struggles and had to overcome a lot myself. And even in my sobriety and everything, you know, getting really dark and just not giving up ever too. Just knowing that things can change. They might not look how you want them to, but just to, how do you have that fire to just keep going no matter what?
God. Like I said, God, family, and friends.
Yeah.
First, you gotta have the peace in your mind and in your heart from God, because He's the only one that can work on your soul. You know, medicine can't do everything. And then to have something to stay motivated. Like, you gotta say something to stay motivated. Like, Julian, you still surf and do things. I can't do that anymore, but I can do the surf videos. And when I do the surf videos, it's like I'm out there surfing, you know. And I watched so many surf videos growing up that I kind of know how to edit it to the music and make it look sick. And so that doing that is fun. It's
You had that passion before this even happened, though, too.
Yeah.
You started making movies.
Well, yeah. What I just posted on Instagram on my channel, Mr. Paralyzed Productions at yahoo.com. That's my Instagram channel. Was the first video I ever made with a high 8 tape VCR and a camera, like old school analog equipment. You put the camera in VCR mode and play it, and then hit record on the VCR. And it was like, you literally had to do that for every clip. Each clip, you had to rewind it and cue it up and get it in the right spot. So people are spoiled now. You got your iPhones and you can just airdrop it to your computer and it's all good. But back then it was a lot of time and work, and so I've been doing it ever since the tape days.
And was it the Three Amigos? Was that the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
With their buddy Chris Loomis,
Yeah, Loomis.
Bobby, and myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the AFI in the background. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you ever went down to OB back in those days, you would see either me, my brother, Julian, or Chris Loomis out there, and a couple other guys
Roger,
They would not be out there or not. But Chris Loomis was out there 2 foot or 20 foot. He was out there every day. You remember?
Yeah.
He was always out there. He'd always count. There's Loomis. He's doing something, getting barreled or doing an air or something. You know?
Yeah.
He was always out there.
And for you to be able to make surf videos even now is almost a miracle, because I remember, you know, when your accident first happened, they were saying you weren't going to be able to move anything at all, right?
Yeah. Well, the doctors don't want to tell you something and then it doesn't happen, so they don't get sued. So they don't really give you much hope, but, you know, here I am, 26 years later, lots of therapy. My old caretaker, Simone, used to do physical therapy on me and did lots of at the rehab, Sharp Memorial Rehab, and got this arm working because, like you said, when I first broke my neck, I drove my wheelchair with a straw in my mouth. It's called a sip and puff wheelchair. And I couldn't use my hands at all, so now on my right arm I can do this stuff. And it's fun, I like doing it. You know, I don't make any money from it, I don't want to make any money, it's not about that, it's just about having fun and sharing my stuff. It's my art, you know, like I got to interview one of my heroes in 2007, Tom Curran. He's one of my favorite surfers of all time, and he was talking about how like I'm an inspiration to him because I have a good attitude and I'm making surf videos. I was like, what? When I was 15, you were like my hero.
Yeah.
You know, he like Curran was like, you know, up there. And so now Tom Curran's calling me, you know, it's pretty cool.
Did you know when you were younger, like around the time, like, you know, when I was young, Roger and Chris, and like, did you know the impact that you're having, like with this, like mentoring us and teaching? I know for me, you taught me almost everything I know about surfing. Taught me where to go and what winds, what tides, I mean, all of that.
That's what my dad taught all of us growing up. Like all the spots, when to go to the spots, and how to show the locals respect to each spot, and all that stuff is important. If no one's there to teach you that stuff, you're gonna get your, butt kicked at some spots, and you're gonna learn the hard way. So, and I wasn't always nice everywhere I went, but I knew that some people you just don't drop in on, and so that still needs to be taught today, And but no, we were just hanging out, doing our thing, and you guys are like little brothers to me,
Yeah.
If someone messed with you, I was there right in their face, don't mess with them, And,
Yeah.
And I wanted to show you guys different surf spots up and down the coast that my dad and my family showed me, and help you guys progress and become pro surfers. Who knows? But that's what it was all about back then. It was just, but what was cool about back then, it was like you didn't have to call and make an appointment to see anybody. Everyone just showed up.
Yeah.
We're all hanging out at the surf shop, and here comes Mike Bissell. Like people just show up. Nobody asked for, are you busy? And that's what I missed about the old days was, even before cell phones, when people, would communicate more and socialize more than now. People are buried with their face in their phone. I don't like that. But
yeah, I mean, what we had at Pride Surf Shop was pretty special.
Yeah, Todd always took care of us, and Brian, every day they put up with us.
Yeah, definitely. Drama abuse was still in full effect then too.
And Todd, knowing all those guys, like he was one of the first shops, Palapa, before it was Pride Surf Shop, was one of the first shops in San Diego that had Volcom.
Yeah.
And so they knew all the OG Volcom guys. So that's actually where I met the owner of Volcom, Richard Woolcock. We're good friends now, and Wooly, and he was sharing his story how he broke his neck surfing in New Mexico, but he wasn't paralyzed for a while, and so he got better, and then he was successful and started Volcom, and everyone knows Volcom is one of the top companies, and so him and his friends started Volcom, and so ever since, like all these years being in a wheelchair, I've got to meet my heroes. Like I'm friends with Kelly Slater now, and Tara Knox, who knows who I am, and the Lopez brothers, like all these people, Chris Ward, some of my favorite surfers growing up. I'm becoming friends with them online and stuff, and it's cool that I believe God is allowing this to happen because he feels sorry for what happened to me. And maybe with you too, and he wants to show his love, bringing all these people together in one area and to support each other.
Yeah, it's definitely, God works in mysterious ways. crazy how everything has come full circle and what, how almost tragedy in certain situations brought that together, yeah. I mean, I think you probably are more of inspiration and hope to people than you even realize. It's hard to see it in the moment, though, happening. What is there anything, like what's something that, somebody wouldn't know about you or your situation, or what's been the hardest part about your situation?
Well, if I get a new caretaker or nurse that takes care of me, I want them to know like I'm still a surfer. I'm always gonna be a surfer. I'm not just some old fat guy with a bald head and beard.
Yeah.
Like I'm still. I know about surfing and I can still relate with the younger generation because I was that age once. And I know what good surfing is. I know what's not good surfing. So when I make the videos and stuff, I'm not like some Barney making a video. I know what I'm doing and I know what good surfing is, and God helps me put it all together with the music to make it all fit with the song and everything. And so that's just what I do, and it's fun. And sometimes I do different things besides surfing. I want to do some more skateboarding and keep learning how to use video editing software and computers and all that stuff. It's entertaining for me. And if I sit around and don't do that, then I just get kind of bored and pointless. So you're saying I'm an inspiration to people, but I'm just sharing what I know, and if somebody likes it, then that's good. If they don't like it, oh well,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy the setup that Bobby has here. I'll show it at the end, but I mean, you got the high-tech setup.
Yeah. Thankfully, we have a nonprofit called can'tkeepmedown.org. You can go to my website, www.can'tkeepmedown.org, and on the website it has links to my YouTube channel and my Instagram, I think, on there, and you can watch my videos and stuff. And Julian's in some of them, and a lot of my other buddies are in them, and that's what luckily my mom helped me get a lot of this equipment, and our friends donate to our nonprofit, and I can spend the money on equipment for the business, for the nonprofit, and that's how I get all the stuff. And I even have really old stuff like from the VCRs and High 8 and mini DV tapes that I digitized a lot of stuff too. So if anybody has any tapes they want digitized, that's something I could do. My friend Justin Poston has tons of old High 8 tapes from the 90s that he wants me to digitize, so it'd be cool to get those from him, and he might even have some stuff from me and my brother surfing on there. So I got the old stuff, I got the new stuff, and it's fun doing this stuff because it's my passion.
And with the technology so much better, is it?
Oh, it's way easier.
You can get way more creative and intricate.
Like I was saying earlier with the tape stuff, tape's a pain in the ass. Tapes, you gotta sit there and rewind the tape all the way to the beginning, push play. When you see a spot you want, rewind it again, push pause, and then get the other thing ready you're gonna record it on. Hit record on the other one, hit play, and it's just like, it was so much work back then to do all that stuff. But now it's so simple now. I mean, even the crappiest iPhone now is better than any camera back.
Yeah, we're on one right now. Cool, Bobby. Well, is there any message or words you could offer to anybody who's struggling mentally or spiritually or physically and feels like they can't keep going?
Totally. Well, God is in the business of dealing with people that think everything's over. And when you give your life to Jesus Christ, He puts a new spirit in your mind and body and heart and soul. And when you have His spirit inside of you, He says you can do anything. So I can't walk. Physically I can't walk, but I can inspire people. I can still be there for people. I can make movies. I can do what I can do with what I'm able to do. And if I can still do that, then that's a good thing. But I've been down at the bottom of the earth and went through hell, you know, and spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, I went through every kind of thing there is, you know. That's why the company's called Can't Keep Me Down. And so, and I want to keep staying that way. And God always has His hand on it. He's had His hand on you, always praying for you when you're going through the times you're going through. And actually, in my movie Can't Keep Me Down, they made a documentary about me called Can't Keep Me Down. It's a 45-minute documentary, Walking Water, my friend Jesse Schlentz made, and it's my whole story in there about what happened to me, and maybe Julie can show you guys it. But in the end of the movie, it says I'm rolling in my wheelchair down the cliffs with Julian sitting next to me. He's walking next to me, and I say, I want people to know the Lord and get saved because I've got the Lord on His side, and nobody keeps you down. And so you're with me with that part, and I didn't even realize later now when I watched that movie that's God had a plan for you too. Whether you knew it or not, whether I knew it or not back then, that's what happened. So we both of us have been through hard times. If you're going through hard times, hang in there and trust God and see what happens, you know. It's not religious, it's just believe. That's all He wants. Doesn't matter what you know about Him, just trust Him and you'll see your love for yourself and other people will spread like wildfire.
Awesome, Bobby. Well, you're my brother. I love you, and I thank you for,
Me too.
you know, talking about some heavy stuff. And, you know,
let's just hope the camera's still recording.
yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, Bobby.
Love, bro. All right.